Hello everyone, and let's have a quick go at this identity. Now before we start this identity, we've got this left hand side, this fraction, and that's going to be identical to 1. Before we start, let's just quickly remind ourselves, if we can, because you've got cot squared and tan squared and cot squared with the 1 in. So I just want to have a quick look at our identity. So if we put sine squared theta plus cos squared theta, and if I share, and we know that's equal to 1, and if I divide everything by let's divide everything by cos squared theta, I'm going to get tan squared theta plus 1, and that is the same as 1 over cos is sec squared theta. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, so I can replace that with 1 over sec squared theta. And similarly, if I divided everything by sine squared, I would have got sine squared over sine squared will give me 1, and that would have been cos squared over sine squared, which will give me cot squared theta, and that will give me 1 over cos squared will give me 1 over sine squared will give me cosec squared theta. Okay, so let's just see if that helps us. Well, it will help us in the sense of shrinking things down. So I'm just going to put 1 over sec squared theta plus 1 over cosec squared theta. So left hand side. And if I cross multiply this, I'll get cosec squared theta add sec squared theta all over sec squared theta cosec squared theta. Okay, so how is this going to help me? Let's have a quick look. Now, at the moment, nothing's going to help me at the moment. So what we're going to do is now I'm going to just go back and change all these cosec sine squares, as I know that cosec squared theta is the same as 1 over sine squared theta, and I know that sec squared theta is equal to 1 over cos squared theta. Now I'm bringing these in because I know I need 1, and I know that if I get sine squared plus cos squared together, I can replace that for 1. So that's what that's what my rationale is behind all this, bringing that in. So I've got 1 over sine squared theta plus 1 over cos squared theta all over. So that's going to be 1 over cos squared theta times 1 over sine squared theta. Okay, so now I'm going to start timesing everything by these common denominators. So I'm going to let's times everything by sine squared theta first of all. Everything gets times by sine squared theta. So if I times that by sine squared theta, it will cancel with the denominator, and that will leave that as 1. But times that by sine squared theta, I'm going to end up with sine squared theta over cos squared theta. Right, let's see now over here, because that's a product in itself. If I times that by sine squared theta, that will cancel with this sine squared theta, and I'll be just left with 1 over cos squared theta. So that's kind of reduced loads of things here. Now I'm going to times everything by cos squared theta. Okay, times everything by cos squared theta. So this is where the magic's going to happen. 1 times cos squared theta is just going to end up as cos squared theta. So sine squared theta over cos squared theta, when I times that by cos squared theta, that's going to cancel with this denominator, and you're just going to end up with sine squared theta. And 1 over cos squared theta times cos squared theta is just going to end up as 1. So that's going to just end up as sine squared theta plus cos squared theta, which we know from our identity is equal to 1, and that is equal to the right hand side. Happy days, QED.